What's up, party animals? My name is Kezi, and I wanted to do a review on the Akai Force. Now, I kind of did like a little bit of praising and complaining on my 30-minute jam video, but I don't think anyone wants to sit around for 30 minutes just to hear those little tidbits of complaining. So, one of the things that I like the most is that this is the musician sketchpad. Like, I haven't, like, you could use an iPad and that would be cool-ish, but, like, this thing has absolutely everything you need in a really simple form factor. If I was going to go to, like, a friend's house and jam, I would just bring this. I wouldn't even bother bringing my computer. There's just no point. Any kind of like advanced fiddling I'd want to do, I can export it to Ableton. So if I like really like what's happening and I'm like, this needs to be like entirely mastered and like everything needs to be perfect, I can just import it into Ableton. But even still, I could go and I could bring this to a con and have a new banger ready for a Saturday night set, making the whole thing at the con. Like, this thing is absolutely powerful. The DAC is flawless. I can plug in a pair of headphones and crank the volume. The noise floor is non-existent. Just, there's nothing at all. I've never experienced that before through any kind of device. Like, yeah, I can't even think of anything I've used that has no noise floor. So this thing is amazing for that. Sampling is super fun. I haven't actually owned any kind of like real sampler, and since the sampling is kind of the Akai's legacy, they really cut no corners here. This is a breeze to use. There's like 2 buttons to press and you're sampling whatever you've got. And you can put it onto just everything's super intuitive, super easy. Not even Ableton has a sample engine this straightforward and easy to use. So I praise it for that. Like, for the most part, I like this thing is actually too good. Honestly, it's almost a con because I don't even touch Ableton anymore. Everything I do is just so much easier on the Force that there's just really no point unless I really want to do like advanced MIDI stuff. Now, that's where one of the downsides for it is. The piano roll is trash. Absolute trash. Like, it works. It's just it works exactly as you'd expect. But it's kind of sluggish at it. A touchscreen to enter in MIDI notes isn't exactly great, in my opinion. One of the things I feel like the Force really misses out on is being able to do sequencing with the... So, like, I can do this note, and then if I turn this, it'd be so cool to, like, add that note there. Because you can actually do that in Ableton. If you hold down a note and press the arrow keys, it'll generate a note for that section. And I feel like the Akai would do really well having that as a feature, because it's just such a pain to use the little tiny screen. I mean, it's massive, and it's big enough for like most of the things I need it for, and it's, you know, of course doesn't take up too much space, but it really needs to be implemented way better for the piano roll, which is just, it's just such a pain to use. Entering in the notes by like playing them live is the easiest way to do it. And if you're not some piano wizard, and I'm certainly not, it's kind of a pain to actually play as well. Honestly though, like, this is probably the most powerful single purchase you can get for production at home, or really anywhere. Like, this thing is super portable. Now, it's not perfectly portable. I think this thing could have really benefited from having a battery. I think that's the biggest thing it's missing, is a way of making it truly portable. This thing would be the perfect thing to use on a bus, train, whatever you think you want to go at. It's just, it can be such a pain because it is super portable. I can just toss this thing in a bag. It's kind of big, so you need a big bag. But I can just throw it in a bag, plug it in somewhere, and start jamming. It's super fast. It boots up lightning quick. But it really could use a battery. And I feel like that's something that I would hope that Akai is kind of looking into in the future. I would love to have a, like, even just something you can plug into the back. Like, I Googled it before, and people have done it. People have made adapters to, like, power the Akai on battery, but it's really expensive, and I don't want to fry my electronics. I'm not that smart, so we're not touching that today. Now, still though, most powerful thing you can get. This thing is a home studio in a box, and that's technically, it's not DAW-less. Saying this is like, calling this the brains of a DAW-less setup is like calling Ableton the brains of a DAW-less setup. This is a digital audio workstation. You can really feel the computeriness. Now, if you're just like doodling and playing around, it can kind of feel like it's in the background, but really when you're actually working and crafting, this whole top half just feels like a computer was just like bolted onto an Ableton push. And it's honestly great, but it isn't DAW-less, and it really kind of shows at times because the menus can be really confusing. Most of the major functions are super easy to find, super easy to use, but when you really want to get nitty-gritty, it can feel really nitty-gritty. A lot of it's not directly intuitive, and like some of the special things are just like really, really deep in there that you're just like, you really got to read the manual. And sadly, the manual hasn't been updated for the latest version. Now, I don't know if that's going to change. I would hope so. But right now, you're kind of stuck with a delayed version of the manual. But it still has everything you need. I'll reference it all the time when I need random crap. Drum kit browsing is absolutely obnoxious. So let's go and make a new drum track. Do drums. Beating the crap out of this. I don't care about the clips. I want to load something. So it's super annoying because it doesn't just play the drums. It plays like a whole thing. Listen. Like, it's cool, it's bouncy, it's a good tune, but it doesn't tell me what the drums sound like. So I'm just kind of like shooting at the dark, hoping that I can like hear enough of the drums to actually make a good decision. Because a lot of times I need a specific sounding kick and snare and hi-hat, and it just all melted in all of the other, samples that they throw in there, because they've got like vocals and dubstep wubs and all sorts of wacky stuff that really just doesn't aid in me finding a drum kit to use. And of course I could build my own drum kit, because this thing is full of freaking samples. Oh my god, I have no idea how many or what the size is, but this thing, I don't think I've ever needed to load up a drum. I don't really use a lot of samples. I got Splice recently, so I started using that. And this thing has Splice integration, which is super cool. I haven't used it yet, but I can't wait to try it. But like, the samples on this thing are really high quality. Like, I don't even use the samples that I have in Ableton much anymore, because I'll just like pull it off of the Force because of just how good the in-the-box samples are. It's just so good. Back on the piano roll being sucky, so there's no legato at all. Like, Ableton's nice because, I can play a little diddle, and then I have to press the legato button, and it just makes everything kind of blend into each other. On the Force, that just doesn't exist, and you have to manually use the really crappy piano roll, select each note, make it the length you want it to be so it goes into the next one, and do that for every note that you played. So it can be a real pain, and I feel like that was something that really kind of got overlooked. But melody, again, isn't exactly Akai's strong suit. They do beats, and this thing is a beat machine. It's nice. Let's see. But yeah, I think that's kind of it for the basic review. I've had this thing for a few months. I feel like it's effectively, I wouldn't say it's fully replaced Ableton, because, like, I need to use it for things and stuff like, oh, fuck. I still need to use it for, like, nitty-gritty stuff, or if I want to use, like, Serum. Like, it doesn't have any kind of, like, special plugin capabilities. But I love using it for everything else. It feels, like, for when I first got it, I hadn't even touched Ableton for months. It's been just that good. So, yeah, that's my review on the Akai Force. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you learned a thing or two. Maybe you'll buy one, maybe you won't. I love it though, so I highly recommend. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye!